What is going on, social media family? You already know who it is. Your boy Junior coming at you live out of the south side of what this title is about, where it all started at, as you can tell by that title. Freaknik, I watched the documentary in its entirety, right? My feedback on it. I feel like it was everything that I expected. It's nothing like it's not watered down. It's a little bit extra than the documentaries I've seen in the past about Freaknik. Now, I liked how Jermaine Dupri and Uncle Luke produced it. It's produced very well. It's something that I want to do if y'all follow my content, and it's something that I would want to do on my productions. Things I want to touch on. The first 30 minutes of it, like between like 15 to 30 minutes of it, they talked about the historical part of it, and I enjoyed it. The documentary as a whole, it was very informative. It was extremely, which I'm not really shocked. Nothing could shock me. It was extremely raunchy, but I was expecting that. In this cancel culture that we live in, it's very what's the word I could use? It's very it's very like you have to take caution with stuff like that, which is why they put it on Hulu platform. I'm not doing any spoiler alerts. I'm not going to do that. It's out now. So it was very raunchy, but that shouldn't even be like, if y'all a millennial like me, or if y'all even a Generation X, right? Then it shouldn't be a shock. Like, there's nothing that I haven't seen, bro. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing I haven't seen at all. Literally, when it comes to movies, documentaries, there's nothing I haven't seen. There's nothing I haven't heard, bro. There's nothing that can shock me. So, having said all that, I advise anybody who's really like a historian like me, who likes history, who likes the truth, not because it was like, women popping on top of cars, dudes, chasing women and things of that nature, not because of that, but if you really like, movies and documentaries and information and knowledge and history, then I suggest you go watch it. It's a lot of history to do with Freaknik. I'm not going to do any spoiler alerts. It's on Hulu. I watched it in its entirety already on my phone. I watched the entire thing. It was an hour and 30 minutes. I watched the entire thing on my phone. It was very informative, but it's like I've kind of seen like with the little bit of raunchiness that was in it. It was raunchiness here. It's like raunchiness thrown in here and there. It was good. I give it a 10. It was good. And then they gave you some historical things about it toward the end, which I liked. I like that part about college kids coming together, things of that nature. It was good. It was good. I give it a solid 10. They did a good job. Will there ever be another Freaknik? Well, that's up for you to decide. And that was the final question. Will there ever be another Freaknik? I don't know. If it could be organized, I would say if that type of event can be organized, then absolutely. If we can, as millennials and Gen Zs, can come to like an event where it's like that type of energy could be somewhat replicated in 2024 and beyond for the future, and if you can like control it like any other event in Atlanta or any other event in any other city, if you can control it with people coming from different parts of the globe and different parts of the country and come to an event like this, then maybe it can happen again if we could just have some self-control, whatever like that. Because we, in this culture, I feel like we can, I feel like we can behave ourselves as grown young men and grown young women. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, that was my take on it, man. Like, I suggest y'all go watch it. It it was nothing less than what I expected at all. There's nothing less than what I expected from it. So it's like it was very informative. I give it that, from like the black colleges in Atlanta, Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, Spelman, and then Morris Brown. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was informative. Y'all go watch it. It was real good. Especially I watched it like when it first dropped on Hulu, because I got the app on my phone. It was good. So yeah, y'all go watch that, man, for real. And that's my take on it. I mean, like it was like, I've seen other documentaries on Freaknik. It's just like the difference between that one, like the difference between that documentary and the ones I've seen already, was they just threw a little bit more raunchiness into it. That's about it. But like I would say this to the women in the Freaknik, the women, as far as like that was worried about that. That's one thing that they did do. I'll say this. I'm not trying to do no spoiler alerts. One thing that they did not do, some parts they blared women face out, some parts they didn't. And a lot of women were showing, which they blared out the things that they were showing, but they didn't blare out their face though. You know what I'm saying? So, having said all that, and then certain parts toward like the middle of the documentary, it's like it wasn't even that severe of a scene. They would blare the woman's face out. But like I said, it was, other than all of that, I really don't have any negative connotation toward it. It was good. It was like I said, I'm like a historian. I like documentaries and stuff like that. I've been promoting this documentary for about a week. But yeah, it was good. It was real good. It's just history about Atlanta culture. It's just the history of the city that I'm living in. It's just the history of, what went down in the late 80s, early 90s, because it's like they said, it started with some college kids. And they was like, they couldn't go home for spring break. I like the history part of it. It started with college kids, and they just, they were having a good time. They wanted to have a good time during spring break, but they just didn't have the money to fly or drive back home wherever they lived at. But they went to the HBCUs here in Atlanta. So I was just like, that's when it got bigger, is because they had no choice but to stay here because they didn't have no money to go home. So I was just like, okay, this has gotten way crazy and way like out there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like that, and then they had like step teams and stuff like that. Pretty much like, it's like any like, it was good, like, cause I'm a nerd at heart. Like, I like to see stuff like that. Like I like to look up, the American Revolution and things of that nature, and I like to look up different cities going through different things or whatever. If y'all really follow my content, y'all know how I get down, whatever. But yeah, the it was good. Like, the Freaknik documentary is like the whole culture of Atlanta, like the culture of this city. It was good because when we first got down here, let me give you all a little spill. When we first got down here, it was like we would go to the downtown area, and guys would just be trying to come up and talk. And I have older sisters, so it's like they'd be trying to talk, yo, shout it. That's how they talk down here. It's like, not really no more. Like, everybody's from everywhere out here now, but it's like, at the time, I was like, bro, like, they talk so crazy and all that extra shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I did not like the big crowds, whatever, and all that stuff. And I'm just like, yo, the big crowds, it was different, like, venues when you know what I'm saying, we was in downtown when I was a little bit younger. It was like different venues, people were setting up, like, pretty much how New York is in like Times Square, whatever, like that. It was like different venues, people trying to sell you stuff, da 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 da. And then the main thing, little sidebar, it was like the homelessness out in the downtown area, which I did not like. And then, dudes trying to talk to girls and all that stuff. So I remember in 2016-ish, 2017, it was I was here like where I'm at right now, and I was in my room, and it said on my TV one day, it was like Freaknik Atlanta Documentary, the same one I'm comparing the Luke one that I just seen, and there was nothing short of that. It was just like Freaknik Atlanta, so I clicked on it, bro. Okay, let me give y'all a backstory of what I mean. All right, so 2016, I'm with my older sister, the one that stayed on. If y'all know, the one that stayed on Cleveland Avenue at the time. We was driving around with our relative at the time that used to be out here with us, and we're just for like a few days we're at like Kroger, Walmart, whatever like that. We're at gas stations, and we're just looking, and we're just encountering people that live here but they're not from here. We encountered like, I say, a solid 10 to 12 people that's like live here but not from here. So I'm just like, wow, what's really going on here? So fast forward, Freaknik Atlanta Documentary come out, and everybody that was here during that time is not from here. I was like, that is not a coincidence. You understand what I'm saying? So all that hyping up, turning up, whatever, getting teed up, all of that came out of that energy. So I feel as though, having said all that, looking at the second one on Hulu, which is not really it's not anything less than any other documentary you can find on YouTube. Like, I feel like this cancel culture, this, with all due respect, this woman's right, like this feminist movement in our generation, I didn't even grow up in that type of environment to where it was like everything was so sensitive, but I'm like an old soul to, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know me, I'm an old soul. So it's like I didn't grow up with all these sensitivities. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been, this whole thing could have still been, I ain't gonna lie, it could have still been on YouTube if I'm being honest. But hey, it's on Hulu. I mean, you still gotta get paid. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like the raunchiness of it, there's nothing that us grown adults have not seen. Like, come on now, let's be 100%. And it's just crazy because it's like there's nothing that you haven't seen. There's nothing that you probably haven't done. So it's like, that's where this whole strip culture come from in Atlanta. Like, everybody flies from like some of the richest countries in the world just to go to the strip clubs out here. You understand what I'm saying? In different cities just to go to the strip clubs out here. I mean, even other popping cities, like, you got, with all due respect, shout out to Miami and Cali, whatever like that. But, you know what I'm saying, a lot of them come here, and those are popping cities, obviously. They come here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the historical part of the documentary is what I like, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, I remember JD was like, people come from all over the globe just to go to strip clubs here in Atlanta. That is crazy. You know what I'm saying? You go from another country just to come to a tiny strip club just to see women dance. Just think about that. That's mind-boggling, yo. Like, you come from a nice country, whatever, or a nice area that got all this money, but then you come to a city like here just to see women. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. But yeah, that was my take on Freaknik, bro. That was my whole take. It was like I said, it was definitely it was good to look at. It was, I'm not going to say extremely raunchy, because I've seen raunchy. Like extremely raunchy, I wouldn't even call it that. It's just that I guess it's raunchy because of the day and the times that we're living in with this cancel culture, with everybody being so sensitive and all this extra foolishness and all that. But yeah, and this Me Too movement and stuff, allegedly. But yeah, it was good. I advise y'all to go see it, you understand? So it's like, go check it out. You know what I'm saying? It was good. In my book, it was good. I like history and stuff like that. But, like, the raunchiness, you know what I'm saying? That just added a little spice to it. You understand what I'm saying? That's what was going on. That's the truth to it. That's just added the flavor to it. But yeah, that was my take on it. But one of the things that I would say before I get off this live is the ending part. My condolences go to the women that were, for lack of better terms, taken advantage of. My condolences go out to the victims out there for that, man. That's not called for, bro. But yeah, my condolences go out to you guys, man. Like, but yeah, I didn't want to leave that out. But yeah, other than that, that's also what happened at Freaknik, and that's why they had to shut it down. You know what I'm saying? You know. But yeah, so I want to say something else, but I don't want to spoil it. But yeah. Anyway, y'all check it out, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Y'all check it out. One.